Hey guys, and this is Tifel Malti. Today I'm here with March 2014's gaming PC build. Okay, so I am very sorry I didn't upload this video before the last day of March. I've been sick these last 5 days, and I thought I was gonna be better, and I'm not. So first thing I want to tell you in this video is that I'm gonna be making a cut. You're gonna see when I skip from part to part, you're gonna see it cutting. Yes, because I'm gonna do a video for that part, a video for the CPU, a video for the CPU cooler, and then I will put them all in one, because I have a little bit of cough, and I cannot talk too much for a long period of time, or else I will start coughing. So please bear with me for this build. Hopefully this won't happen again. I am very sorry. And so now I am gonna start with the parts. Okay, so for the motherboard we are going with the ASUS M5A99X motherboard. Okay, so this is an AMD motherboard, since we're going to be using an AMD CPU, and it has obviously USB 3.0, as you can see over here, USB 3.0, and USB 3.0 as well over here, eSATA, and oh, excuse me, this isn't this eSATA, this is USB 2.0, and this is eSATA, USB 2.0 to USB 2.0, and another USB 2.0, your whole audio, and that's about it. The digital, and I believe that's it. PS2. This is the motherboard out of the box. Here was the RAM, CPU socket, and let me take another. Okay, I got this from the ASUS website, so it explains every single part of the motherboard, as you can see. And next, back to the first photo, where you connect your extra power, your 8-pin for the CPU power, and your graphics card goes over here. Very solid board. I saw good reviews about it, and it's ASUS, so it's not gonna be a bad motherboard. So this motherboard is ATX. Okay, so for the CPU I went with the AMD FX 8350 series. So for this CPU, it's an 8-core CPU, it's the black edition. It's unlocked, so you cannot overclock it if you would want to. It comes at 4 GHz, and it has 16 megabytes of cache, as you can see over here, and a very powerful CPU. And funnily enough, AMD was the first company to make the first 8-core desktop processor. So I'm thinking that since it was the first one, I think that AMD was extra careful to make it perfect, since it is the very first 8-core desktop processor. So here's the side of the box. It's the black edition, I already told you. And this is where the CPU is. AMD FX. And that is the whole model number, but you can still use this number. Okay, so now for the next part of our build is the CPU cooler. Excuse me. So for the CPU cooler, I went with Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. So a very good CPU cooler. It has a 120mm fan, as you can see over here, and that's about it. A very solid CPU cooler, and it's quite worth it at the moment. So it has bronze pipes, as you can see. Side, there you can see it better. This is the part which you put on your CPU. I hope you know that. Fins, and this is a side view of the CPU cooler. So the heat is dissipated on this side. But now I saw, when I went to search a picture for the case, I saw this guy who did something which is very a type of good idea. I will be showing you the picture. He put this fan on the right, so this fan would dissipate the CPU heat on the right over here, and he made the case fan going out, so it's as if there are two fans, but there is only one connected to this CPU cooler, although this one is gonna dissipate more, but it will still help. It's still pulling air from the CPU cooler eventually. It's not gonna pull out as much as this, but it will still do. So okay, for the next part is the graphics card. So for the graphics card, I'm gonna leave some moments for me to do the sound effects. And now I'm gonna be showing you what graphics card I chose, which is the EVGA GeForce GTX 780 Ti. So I might have went a little bit overkill, but it's a very powerful graphics card. I could have used it in my previous build, but I tried to keep my previous builds on a budget. But this one, since I was using high-end stuff, I kind of like, why not throw a 780 Ti in this build? So I just put it in this build, so you can see the beauty of this card from the top part, and it also has SLI, and the side part, this is the Express, where you connect it to your motherboard, the PCIe Express, and it has 3 GB of RAM, and it has, the RAM is GDDR5, so it's gonna be quite fast for gaming and even video editing if you need, and it's SLI ready, as I already told you. So for the next part is the hard drive. So for the hard drive, I went with the standard which everyone uses for hard drive, Western Digital Caviar Black 1 TB hard drive. So you can go with a 2 TB, 3 TB, and 4 TB if you want, but I just went with a 1 TB. I think 1 TB is enough. I don't think you usually need that much storage space unless you're doing a lot of video filming, like with Fraps or something like that, and you need a lot of storage. So if you need a 4 TB, feel free, go and get a 4 TB, but I don't think for gaming you need higher hard drive capacity than 1 TB, maybe 2 TB if you're going to install a lot of games, but I believe that 1 TB is enough. So you most probably already know it has 7,200 rotations per minute and SATA 3 and 64 MB of cache. Here's the hard drive side view. Okay, now for the RAM. So for the RAM, I went with something a little different. Instead of Corsair Vengeance DDR blah blah blah, and I went with the G.SKILL series. So it's an 8 GB kit, so you have two DIMMs of 4 gigs, so this would be 4, this would be 4. There is an 16, but I don't think you need 16 gigabytes for gaming if you're going unless you're gonna be leaving a lot of programs running in the background while you're gaming. So 8 gigabytes is enough for gaming. When I game, I only have 4 gigabytes of RAM, and it's enough. I barely go over 80% usage of RAM when I am gaming, so that's about it for the RAM. Let me tell you a bit of information about it. It has 1866, so it's 1866 megahertz. It's also written over here. It's obviously the DDR3, and it has a very nice design. I really like the design of the RAM. And a lot of people said that this RAM, I went in the forum, I forgot which forum, I think it was Tom's Hardware if I'm not mistaken, or Overclockers, I can't remember at the moment, I think it was Overclockers, and they said that this RAM manages to dissipate heat more quickly than the Corsair Vengeance Blue Series RAM, so that's a better thing, even more, it's a good thing, excuse me. It's even more that this RAM is clocked to a higher clock speed, so thumbs up for G.SKILL to make that. And now for the next part of our build, which is the power supply. Okay, for the power supply I went with the Corsair, if I can, okay, power supply unit, with the Corsair Professional Series 760 watts. So as you can see over here, excuse me, oh my god, AX 760 power supply, so you're gonna have plenty of wattage for this build. I think everything you're using for gaming this build, I think you're gonna be using an estimate of about 500, between 500 and 600 watts. So I chose a 760 watt power supply just in case you're gonna need a bit more. It's better to have that little more power ready, and I chose this one for platinum. So this is 80 plus platinum, so you're gonna save money in your electricity bill since it's platinum. For until now it's the best 80 plus certified. I don't think there is going to be another certification, so you're gonna have the best 80 plus certified power supply there is, which is platinum, and it's fully modular as I showed you in this picture over here. Even the 24 pin for the motherboard, as you can see, and that's about it for the power supply. A very good power supply. The fan is if I'm not mistaken 140 millimeters, and very decent power supply, as I already said. Having that amount, and it's 80 plus platinum, it's a very good power supply. So okay, so for the case I went with the Corsair black 400R mid-tower computer case. So a very decent case. Here's the case in progress while it's in work, so you have plenty of storage, and this is the photo which I was talking about. So this person used the same cooler as I used in this build, so the CPU fan is dissipating heat over there, and this fan will pull also from this side, although it's not gonna dissipate the heat as well as this, but it is still gonna dissipate heat better than not having a fan over here, and at least it will help a bit more with the cooling. So here's another photo of the case in usage. So people even use this case for water cooling. On top you also have a place to put your fans, so you have place for fans, and for this person used this side for the CPU cooler, liquid cooler. And that's about it for this month's build. So please like the video if you liked it, dislike the video if you disliked it. Feel free to comment about anything, any problems, and don't think that I am forcing you to buy these parts. I'm just giving you my suggestions. So if you think you want something else from what I chose, excuse me, feel free to change it. Eventually you're gonna be the person who is gonna buy the stuff. The money is gonna come out from your pocket, so it does make sense. I'm just giving you suggestion and helping you on what to choose and make your life easier on what to choose. So that's about it for this month's build, and thank you very much. I did a video I think about last week or last two, yeah, I think last week. I don't think it was 2 weeks ago. No, it was last week. About my 2,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. Now I checked about I think about 2 hours ago I had about 2,100, so I managed to get another 100 by in around a week. So thank you very much for all the support, and I would see you next month for next month's PC build.